Hello. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
Okay, I couldn't hear you. I don't know if that was on my end.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Welcome to our CougPack for the at-home science. Gonna wait for a couple of minutes here. See if we have anyone else connect while you take out all your supplies here. I'm gonna start with so just like take out all your supplies, but I'm gonna start with the crystal making and then move on from there since the crystal ones take a little bit longer to make. Hello, Anai. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Thank you for joining. I know it's a Monday, but we can still have fun on Mondays, right? Okay. I was telling Emily if you want to just start taking out your supplies while we wait for people to connect on. The first thing I'm going to be making are your crystals. So if you want to take out your beaker, that'd be great. And then supplies that you're gonna need too are the the stove top and the pot. You're gonna need that so we can boil the water and add that onto the beaker here. Okay. So if you want to just start taking out your supplies, I think everyone should be good. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is um, measure out your beaker. Your beaker is 1,000 mLs. So I just did about 800 mLs of water. So you want to put your water on your stove top here and just let it boil for now. Okay. If you guys have any questions, you can add that on the chat and I will be looking at them so that I could let you guys know what step we're on, or if you missed a step, just let me know. Okay. For the crystals, you're gonna need your beaker, your water that's on the stove, and then this is a bag of the borax solution that you're gonna be needing, your skewers here, and the thread, along with food coloring if you desire to add food coloring. If not, you're gonna just have clear crystals on there. Okay. So what we wanna get started is the water is on the stove now, and we're gonna start with the thread here and the skewer along with the stems here. You should have about like 5. And then it just depends on how big you want your crystals to be. And so you could grab by 2 and just like circular, make like a circular sphere if you like. Or if you want to do more of a rectangular, it's really the shape that you desire, you could kind of do. I did the spiral just because it's a little bit easier to do and the crystals stick together closer than a square. So, I did my research. So this is like this circular one that I did here. And it's just like you could kind of see the spiral once you actually have it on here. And it's just a circle. And if you make it more concave, the crystals will start growing on the inside. So I used 2 of the stems on this one so that it has more surface to hold on. And they'll stick more if you have more surface on there. So you're gonna start just moving this in whatever shape you'd like. I'm just gonna do a sphere here, or a circle, a spiral, if you say. And you could use up to as many you'd like. And this is what I kind of did here. And then I'm gonna add the second one on here and keep on just spiraling it through. And I feel like I've had you in the class. I don't know if it's the right one. Emily, how are you? This is the first time I've seen Emily.
Okay.
Okay. What's your major?
Well, right now I'm just a running start student, but I'm hoping to go into bioengineering when I.
Oh, cool. I'm a bio major. Well, kind of. So I'm a pre-nursing major, but I want to do my biology endorsement. So we'll see. Bio is a little hard, in my opinion, but you'll do great. I'm pretty sure. You're a running start. I didn't do running start, but it's a long process, I guess. Perfect. So these are really like hectic, but just kind of work with them, and we should. And you can put them like in between the actual, the first original one, so that it's circular. So this is what mine kind of looks like. If it pops out, it's a little fine. The crystals will start forming here, so they would stick together. If anything, it would just make it pop out a little bit more, kind of like this one. So it was flat, but because these extend down, the crystals started forming in between the stem. So this should be sort of what you kind of get, unless you're doing like a different shape. Once you have this, you want to tie it to the end here on any string that you have on here. And I tied it about 3 knots should be fine, because one of them would just become loose and then it would just stick on the bottom of the beaker, and that's not gonna form your crystals. It's only gonna just leave it there. It doesn't grow if it's touching the bottom or the side of the beaker here. Okay, so you should have this right here, like this. Okay, and then you have your skewer, and you wanna tie it so that it doesn't touch the bottom of the beaker here. So it doesn't touch the bottom and it doesn't touch the sides of the beaker. That's where you want to tie your second knot in the actual skewer here. So you just tie it, and if you have scissors, you could cut it off, or you could leave it on. And you'll have this. So then you could put it back and make sure it's not touching the bottom or the sides. Okay. Once you have this, you're gonna take it out. Don't leave it in when you're gonna add your hot water. And you'll grab your hot water now. And you'll add about 800 mLs to your beaker. That should be good. And your bag of borax should have about 3 cups of borax. So you want to add your borax into your hot water until it doesn't dissolve anymore and it just stays at the bottom. I did about half of the bag. It could be more, it could be less. It just depends on how much water you put in. And if you have like a bigger beaker or a smaller cup, you could also do it on the glass cup with less water. And you're obviously going to use a little less of the borax. You could measure them if you have a cup measure, or you could just toss about half and just kind of eyeballing it until it doesn't dissolve anymore. And then we were going to add our food coloring. So you could take one of your wooden stir sticks, or you could take a skewer, or if you actually have a spoon at home, and you could just dissolve them into the water here. Is this your first year, Emily, or your second year in Running Start?
It's my first year,
Are you a junior or a senior?
junior.
Oh, so you're like ahead of the game. How do you liking it so far? I know it's like a little different because of COVID, but how is it so far?
I think it's a lot better than classes at the high school because now I'm actually learning something and it's a bit more organized right now during COVID than the high school is. The high school is sort of chaotic.
Yeah. Are you a full-time Running Start student, or are you doing like half and half?
Yeah, I'm full time. I don't have any classes. And
I figured it's better.
I had to refrain from taking a class there because otherwise I would have graduated this year. So
Yeah. Okay. So your solution here, it should be clear. Um, and once the crystals actually start forming, or once the borax starts getting into the bottom where it doesn't dissolve, your solution is done. So I'm still gonna add some because looks like everything's dissolved. You shouldn't use the whole bag though. And are you a biology major?
Yes, bio.
Okay. I've taken a lot of biology classes, but yes, you're just gonna keep adding until it doesn't dissolve anymore. So if you start stirring, it should start forming at the bottom of the beaker. It's a little clear but cloudy, and that's what you kind of want. So the more concentrated it is, the more crystals will form, and the faster they would form as well. So I already have borax on the bottom, and I'm just gonna stop here. And you can add food coloring based on your stems, or if you want to just have the color of your stems and leave it clear, you can also do that. I'm gonna add blue just because I already have a blue one, and that way I have two of them. And you should add about your desired color that you want. I'm about to do, I did 10 here, and you could again start with your wooden stick that you have, skewers. Okay. And then you want to put this back into your solution here, and just make sure it doesn't hit the bottom or the sides. It is gonna open just because it's hot, but like I said, the crystals will form around it and it would close it. Or you could take your skewers and try to fix them. I kind of just left it alone, and that's how this one kind of formed. It did open all the way, but like I said, it closes, and it takes about like 8 to 12 hours to form. This one took 9 hours. So if you leave it there longer, you would have more crystals. And if you have it obviously in there less, the crystals won't form as much. But this is about 9 hours. And you could just put this to the side wherever you can't like touch it or bump into it, because that will just stop the formation of the crystals. If you want to put like a paper on there or just like a napkin so nothing goes in there, that's fine as well. I'm just going to put it to the side here for now. And that's going to be your crystals. I did give you more skewers if you want to make more crystals, and then more of the stems here, and obviously more of the food coloring. And you can make more crystals with the borax that you have. All you have to do is finish your first solution here, take out the crystal and just pat it dry with a napkin. And then you could also take it out and reheat the solution here with the beaker. If you have like an electrical stove top, you can put the glass beaker on top of it at a very, very soft or light heat. If not, you could dump it back into your saucepan or any like small pot and keep adding, take it out, add it again to the beaker, and then add your borax until it doesn't dissolve anymore, and put more food coloring, or just leave it how it is. Depends on what you kind of want to do. And that's just for the crystals themselves. You could do that and use the same thread or just any different other string. That's a little bit of the crystals. If you have questions, you can add them on here. Hello,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So we just finished mixing the crystals here for your crystal solution. So what you need is your beaker, some water, and the borax, along with your skewers and the stems, and your thread. This is all you're gonna need for the crystals themselves, and the food coloring, if you want to add food coloring. Steps are in your information. You should have received this in your CougPack with the directions. The directions are in the back here. But all you basically do is heat up the water, add the borax in the beaker here with the water, and then dissolve until, or add the borax until it doesn't dissolve anymore. And then you're gonna add your stems here with your thread attached to the skewer, and then you just leave it in for 8 to 12 hours. Do you have any questions on that?
No, thank you.
Okay. So now I'm gonna move on to your slime mixtures. Do you have any questions on the crystals? Anyone? Everyone's good to go? Okay. So you should have received some glue, your saline solution in this travel size bottle, your food coloring. You should have 2 of these containers, one with the baking soda and then an empty one. You should have another wooden stir stick and your glitter. This is what you're going to use for the slime. The slime takes, it just takes a little bit of time when you're actually mixing all the different things rather than the actual crystals themselves. You're also going to need half a cup of water, and it could just be tap water. And I'm going to get that, the water. So if everyone wants to grab at least half a cup of water. And your bowl that you're going to be using, it could be any one. The slime will come off once it's actually formed. It will come off directly. It doesn't matter if it's plastic or glass. I just preferred the glass one so that you guys could see a little bit of what's kind of going on. So add your 4 ounces of glue to your bowl. And you want to try to get the most that you can out of here. It's not going to do the whole thing, but definitely just try and get everything out. Kay, how do you say your name? Kaya?
Kaya.
Kaya?
Yeah.
What's your major?
Elementary ed.
Oh, are you in the program or are you just starting off?
Yes, I'm in the program.
My friend's in the program. She's also doing elementary ed. You probably know her since a lot of
What's her
education
name?
students. Her name is Erica.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of her.
Yes, she's education. She just got into the program, I believe in the fall. So add the most that you can into your bowl here. Perfect. And then you're gonna add about half a cup of water into the glue here. And I'm actually gonna use a spatula because I ran out of the wooden sticks. And you just wanna keep on stirring until the water is mixed in with all of the glues here. And it doesn't take a lot, but it looks kind of weird because it's like separated two different liquids, and it gets a little bit messy along in the bowl. You could do this on your countertop too, but I was like, I'm not gonna get my countertop messy. So just keep stirring here until it's all mixed in together. Yeah. Perfect. Are you getting an endorsement and anything else?
Yes, I'm endorsing in ESL.
Yes. So. Okay. So once you have your mixture, it looks it should be very liquidy, and you shouldn't have any separation anywhere on the bottom or anything. So once you have that, I want you to grab your travel size bottle with the saline solution and the baking soda. And these are a little hard to open just because like when you actually add your slime in here, it should be very airtight, like sealed. So these definitely do a really good job of doing that. So what I did is I just like flipped this little flap that it has in here and pushed it against here because it's a little bit hard. What you could also do is grab something that kind of just pokes through here and flip it open. You can also do that. They're just a little bit hard to open, which is the purpose for the slime. And then your saline solution. So you're gonna add about a half a tablespoon or half a teaspoon of baking soda into the mixture here. And you could add more if you want your slime to be more firm. But I'm just gonna do half because last time I tried adding too much of the baking soda, it didn't come out. So it's more of a like experiment on your own type thing. But if you don't have like a measuring scoop or a spoon with you, what I did to like for specifically for this program is measured through the tap of the or the lid of the bottle here, and you're gonna do about half of the lid and just toss it in here. And you're gonna mix it as well. And like I said, this one takes a little bit longer when you're mixing it, just because it takes a little longer for the baking soda to react with the glue and everything. It took me about like 10 to 15 minutes, just kind of stirring. So what I did is I just kind of left it on its own for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I came back to it. You can obviously add everything in and just leave it for a while and then come back like after 10 minutes and stir it again until it gets more firm. For the glitter, I'm not sure. I haven't tried, but I want to say yes, it won't change the concentration. So you could probably add also glitter to your crystals. I don't think it will change anything rather than just kind of, it could stick to the crystals, but it could also just like lay flat on the bottom of the beaker. That's also another experiment you could try. I didn't try it. I should have tried it, but I didn't. You just want to mix. You can't really tell if you mix it all through or not. I don't know. You could try, I guess. You won't lose anything. Selling your crystals for money at a pawn shop, that would be pretty funny. Just be like, a future scientist is selling you crystals. You should invest now. Perfect. So it looks pretty much the same, which is okay. It's doing its job. Here, right now, you can add. Correct. The string shouldn't touch the bottom. So when you have your actual stem here for the crystals, you should have it here and you tie it. I can't really take that one out, but you tie it here and then you tie it to your spear. It shouldn't touch the bottom of the beaker and it shouldn't touch the sides. So that's kind of just floating in the middle. Okay. So then you just, you could add your food coloring in here of whatever color. See, when I did this, I did yellow, and I think that's my mistake because it kind of looked like egg yolks, and that wasn't really attractive. So I'm just gonna go with green this time since I already did blue. And you're gonna add, again, like as much as you desired, like the color. I did 3 of yellow, and like it isn't a very bright yellow. So you could add more than 3. I'm gonna do 5 and then see if I wanna add more. This is a really great project to kind of do with kids, along with like Evelyn said, with kids in the education program. You could do this definitely for them during like the spring semester and just make like bright slime colored, which can also be a little hard because they're little kids, but it's definitely a fun project to do. And you just want to keep stirring so that you make sure that all the food coloring is in the mixture. And like I said, you can add more. I'm gonna add a little bit more just because it doesn't look that beautiful. have at least the green that I want. I want a bright green color. You can also just mess around with the colors and add different amount of different colors. You can make purple. I'm not an art major, so I don't know how many you have to add, but you could definitely just experiment with that and see what colors you come up with. Perfect. And lastly, you're going to add your saline solution. Your saline solution should be the last thing to add because that's going to make your slime become more firm. And like you could also mess around on how much you want to add of the saline solution, but it's 1 tablespoon of saline solution or about 3 lidfuls of this, of your cap from your bottle. And you can add that right now. 1, 2. You could add more. I'm gonna stick with 3 for right now, and then you can add more once you're stirring a little. And like I said, it takes a little bit of time to actually start forming. Mine took about like 15 minutes, or yeah, like 10 to 15 minutes. And it's just a little bit of a process because it gets very sticky. But after it gets sticky, it starts forming and it just comes off of the bowl quite easily. So it kind of looks like glue because it is glue, but it looks more, it goes back to like its form where it's a little thicker, and when you kind of scrape it, it kind of comes off very sticky. That's why it sticks to the hole. It can get a little bit hard when you're trying to stir everything together. And yeah, pretty good. How is everyone's slime coming along? It took me about like 3 times to get it right. Of course. The glitter goes in at the very, very end once your glue is actually formed. You could do it in between. As I was trying to do it, my glue wouldn't form when I put it in between, like when I put in the food coloring. I don't know why, but it works a little better if you do it after it's already formed and everything, so that you could just mess around with glue. And you could add different things if you have them at home, like confetti, beads, anything like that. You could also add. And you should have about 2 packets of the glitter. They should be different colors, so you can definitely use them on there. Okay. Any questions? Anaí, how's your slime coming along?
Yeah, how do we know when to stop?
So it takes a little while, but you kind of know when your slime actually doesn't stick to your bowl anymore. So it'll kind of like separate from the actual bowl on its own, like it's kind of doing here. But you just kind of have to also keep on going, because once you take it out, it's gonna just go all over your hand. But if you want to be more hands-on, you can also knead it with your hands, and it would be a faster process, but it gets like all over your fingers and it's very sticky. So I just left it on the bowl when I did mine, And like I said, you could also just leave it in here for about 5 minutes and then come back to it so that the baking soda and the saline solution can stick together more. And then after you take it out, you can put it like on your countertop, add your glitter to it. I have one here that I made. It's still kind of like loose because that's how it's supposed to be. But these containers are airtight. So once you add it in here, it's still kind of sticky, but if you kind of mess around with it and it kind of unsticks by its own and it comes very soft. So you could just also just mess around with it and knead it because this one is still kind of sticky. But once you actually have your slime, you can do it on the countertop here. And it's still like very sticky because it needs more kneading. But this is where you could add your slime, your glue, your glitter. And these are also a little bit hard to open. You could add this as much as you kind of want into here. And then what I did is I grabbed the sides when you're gonna do this so that the glitter doesn't come back to you. What next? So once you have your hot water in the beaker, you want to add about 800 mLs of water into the beaker, and you should have a bag of borax. And you want to just add the borax in until it doesn't dissolve anymore. Or if it starts just kind of sitting at the bottom, then you can stop and then add your food coloring and then put your stem back into the beaker. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay. So when you fold that in, it doesn't allow the glitter to come back to you, but it keeps the glitter inside, and then you just kind of mess around with it so that it gets around the whole slime itself. And this one is still kind of a little bit sticky, but it comes off quite easily. And then you can just wash your hands with water, and it also comes out really easily. Are there any questions? Anyone kind of stuck behind? Okay. So this is with a little bit of glitter, you can kind of see it pop out. It's a little hard to see, but you could just add more slime as you kind of desire, or glitter as you kind of desire. And this is just like a project that you kind of experiment with on how much baking soda you want to add to your slime, or how much saline solution, along with the glitter and food coloring, and what colors you want to mix to make different colors. What did you cover your beaker with? You could cover it with a piece of napkin or just like a piece of cardboard or paper. You could use your information card and just put it on there. Either works. To cover it, it's just kind of so nothing goes in it. Otherwise, it would stick to your crystals. Okay. So once you have your slime already formed, you can put them into the containers that are provided. And like I said, these containers are very to seal and air doesn't go in because the slime will dry out if it's left. So you want to just really press down so that it doesn't open, and leave it in here when you're not using it. Otherwise it will dry out and then you won't have slime anymore. But you can always make it again. And so it's a little bubbly right now, back to this green one, but what I did is I just kept moving it around to kind of knead it, or you could take it out of the bowl and knead it on the counter. I just don't want it to stick on my countertop because that's going to be a problem taking it out. Okay. I also don't want to stick my fingers in here right now because it is not ready. This one takes a little bit longer because you have to mix it really, really well and for a really long time. But after this, you could add it into the container here. That's what I kind of did with this one. It was still kind of sticky when I added in here, but it did get a lot more firm after I left it in there for a while. Or you could leave it in your bowl for like 5 minutes only. You have 2 of them, so just follow the same steps to make the other one. Or you can just buy more and make more. I don't know if you could sell these too. I know a lot of people make slime and sell it through Target or Amazon. You can probably also sell it at the pawn shop, just with your crystals. Perfect. So once you keep stirring it, it shouldn't stick to your bowl anymore, and it's very stuck together. But this doesn't guarantee that it's done yet because it's still really sticky, as it kind of still sticks to your wooden stick or whatever you're mixing with. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it in here just so that I could seal it. And you could come back to it and take it out, knead it for a little bit, and add the glitter in there as much as you kind of like. But once it gets stuck, it's kind of easy to take off. Okay. Any questions? How are you doing on the crystals?
Good, I just got done.
Okay. So after that, you kind of just want to wait for about 8 to 12 hours. So you can leave them there overnight. So I don't think you want to wake up at 5 in the morning and check them. So just leave them overnight and they should be done. If you want like more crystals, all you have to do is take out your crystal that's already formed. You want to dry it with a napkin. And this is after about 9 hours. So mine's a little bit concave because that's how I kind of made it. I pushed the center more in so that crystals can form on the inside. And then you could reheat your solution here. If you have like a hot plate or an electrical stone top, you could just add the beaker on there and it would heat up. Or you would dump this back into a pot, and there's going to be a little bit of like crystallization at the bottom, but it's fine because you're going to heat up your solution, you're going to add it again, and just keep stirring again until the borax doesn't dissolve anymore and it starts forming again at the bottom. And you can add more food coloring and make more crystals in there. So this is your slime. I'm gonna leave it here for a bit because it's still not done. I could, and then you should have a stem kit as well. So these kits have all the instructions inside. If you open them here, it has the stem kit and then your instructions that you want to follow alongside here. And then everything comes in like sealed bags along with your wooden stuff and the wheels and all the little equipment you're going to need to put them together. It's also a little fun project you could do with kids if you have kids at home, or you can kind of build it on your own. That's also included in your CougPack here. Okay. Another last thing I want to add on here is there is a giveaway prize for this CougPack. All you have to do is go on social media and submit a picture of your final crystals and or slime for a chance to win a custom puzzle. And the puzzle is the sub building with our sub logo. And then it's going to come with a wooden frame so that you could make the puzzle and just add it on the frame, and it'll just kind of stay on there. And also do a quick survey that will be in the link below or in the chat if you have it open. You can also find all of these instructions on our social media page, Instagram at I believe it's WCTC, and just go ahead and add those, follow those instructions as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And once you have your slime made, just make sure you add it in here and seal it. Otherwise, it will dry out. Okay. After this, we're kind of done. So you could build the kit packet today or another day. That's kind of on your own time whenever you want to do that. It's going to take a little while to actually put it together and everything. That's why I didn't want to do it here. But yeah, you could also submit a picture of that too. And that's pretty much everything that we kind of have for this CougPack. You can make more crystals with the supplies we have provided. You could also go ahead and grab more. You can make another slime or also go buy some more, and you still have baking soda and your saline solution to add on there for your slime. You won't have like containers, but you could do that. You could add them as well. And I just want to thank you guys for coming and watching this program. And go ahead to follow us on SEB to keep posted on our other CougPacks that are going to be coming up. This is only our second one out of 6 of them. So go ahead and follow us on social media to kind of know what supplies you're going to need for the next CougPack if you didn't sign up. And if you did, just anticipate your delivery once we actually have the event going on.
Sounds good. I'm gonna jump off. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.